So this is the Reolink Duo, and this is one of the 4 versions that Reolink makes. And one unique feature of this camera is basically it is 2 cameras in one. Is this gonna be a good option for your home? Let's find out.
Hello guys, LifeHackster here. Today we are going to check and test out the new camera lineup from Reolink, the Reolink Duo series. There are 4 versions of these cameras: a wired Wi-Fi version, a PoE or Power over Ethernet version, a Wi-Fi battery, and also a 4G battery powered version. And you can choose which one will be a good option for your home or property. Now, this is going to be a series of videos in this channel too, and this is the first one, and we'll focus more on the Wi-Fi version of this camera. Reolink also sent me the PoE version, and I actually have it installed, but most of the testing will be with the Wi-Fi version, because as to features and how the camera detects motion will be the same on both models. I'll be testing the battery version whenever it becomes available. Thank you Reolink for sending me these cameras to be reviewed. So we will check out the features and do a quick unboxing. But before that, if you find this video and my other videos helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. And click the bell notification so as to get notified when I upload product reviews like this video, product updates, comparison videos, and long-term reviews. Thank you. Let's check out the features and specs. Main specs for the Reolink Duo series, and what makes this camera set them apart from other brands, is the dual cameras in one camera body, which makes it a 150-degree wide viewing area and not distorted like other one lens camera that has same field of view. I think the main benefit of this is that you have a wider field of view horizontally and not vertically. There will be 4 models of these cameras, and the Wi-Fi battery and the 4G battery will have specs and features that are different when compared to the wired and PoE versions. I'll talk more on the battery versions when I review them. For now, here is the wired and PoE specs. Video resolution of both camera lenses are in 2K 2560 by 1440, which they have the 4 megapixel sensors. And the PoE will record at 25 FPS, which is the default, and the wired Wi-Fi at 15 FPS. But in the settings, you can set the wired Wi-Fi up to 25 FPS also, and the default though is 15 FPS. Field of view is 150 degrees horizontal and 44 degrees vertical. Now, this is the overall field of view of the 2 camera sensors. Spotlight for color night vision, it has 8 LEDs, 6500 Kelvin color temperature, and 560 lumen output. Something to take note in the comparison specs that Reolink gave me, and these cameras actually are more on the IP NVR type that Reolink makes. So both Wi-Fi and PoE cameras can record when it senses motion. But also you can schedule it and basically make it to record 24/7 on the micro SD card, which it can support up to a 256GB card. But both of them can also be added to your Reolink NVR system, which Reolink said that it will take 2 channels for 1 camera. And I did try this, but I'm only able to view 1 channel. This might be a user setup error on my end, and Reolink will most likely have instructions to set this up properly. But it can be added to an NVR system, which is cool. Also, these are the protocols and standards that it can use. So this is a pretty customizable and versatile camera and can be added to your current wired system. This camera is weather resistant with an IP66 rating and an operating temperature of 14 degrees to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. The Wi-Fi version can connect to both 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi. Now, time to open up the box. I have a pre-production model here, so it is not on its retail packaging, but the inside and the content should be what you will get. So we have some paperwork, window stickers, mounting template, and a quick start guide. So this is the Wi-Fi version, and you will get these 2 antennas. You will have the mounting screws and plastic anchors. We have a power extension cable, 4.5 meters or almost 15 feet in length. We have a short Ethernet cable, we have a waterproof Ethernet coupler cover, and we have a power adapter, 12 volts and 2 amps. We have a Phillips screwdriver, and we have the Duo camera itself. The body is plastic, but the black hood front area is metal or aluminum. So we have 2 camera lenses, and each has its own LED spotlights and infrared LEDs. We have a light sensor here in the front and the mic. On the bottom, we have the Q20 thread and also a covered micro SD card slot and a reset hole. And we have the speaker in the back. On the sides, we have the antenna mount to screw in the antennas. On top, we have another quarter 20 thread for mounting. Then we have the wiring on the back for Ethernet to directly connect to your router, and this version is not PoE, so you still need to power up the camera separately on this power port. You can easily screw in the included antennas. And lastly, we have the camera mount. It has a metal base plate, and this is where the camera mount will hang and attach to. Now, the difference of the PoE or Power over Ethernet version of this camera is that it doesn't have the antenna mounts. It also has the Ethernet port and this power port, which is not needed for a PoE setup. And we'll be putting in the microSD cards on these cameras, and you can put in up to a 256GB card. Setting this up at this moment in time, I wasn't able to set up the camera using the Wi-Fi option on the app. It was not able to read the QR code that my phone generated, so I have to set this up using the Ethernet to my router. So aside from power, I also needed to plug it into my router using the Ethernet cable to the Ethernet port. Download, sign up, and log into the Reolink app. Click the plus sign on the upper right corner. Scan the QR code, which is in the bottom side of the camera. Choose Network Cable Connection. Click Access Camera. Create a device password and click Next. Name your camera, which I'll name mine Duo Wi-Fi. Click on the Wi-Fi network you want this to connect to and type in your password. And wait until it is added. Click Finish. Time to install this. Screw in the metal mounting plate with the included 2 screws on the top holes only. And hang the notch of the camera mount to the plate, and then you can screw in the 3rd screw to secure it in place. Now screw in the camera to the mount, adjust the tilt, and tighten the bottom screw. Now the camera also have a quarter 20 thread screw hole on top, and you can use a regular screw-in camera outdoor mount. And you can install the camera horizontally or under the eaves install. Now let's check out the settings in the app. In the main app page, you will see the last snapshot from the camera, and you can swipe to the left to see the second camera. And Reolinks make it seamless, and you'd barely notice the end border. Now the Wi-Fi version is in the auto night vision, and the PoE, I turned off night vision on this one, so it is in color mode. So click on the snapshot, and this will load the live view on both cameras, which loads up pretty quick. Now to make it seamless, just turn the phone to landscape mode, and it will show the whole view of the camera side by side, which is cool. In here, you can pause the live view, take a snapshot, and record the live view. You can also change the live view quality, fluent or balanced. Back to the stacked view, there is a mic which you can start two-way talk, and it is in full duplex. Then playback, where you can slide the red tab on the timeline that you want to check, and on top are the events that you can view. Back to the live view, on the upper right corner, we have the Siren if you want to activate it. The flashlight icon to turn on the spotlights, which will also change the camera to color mode. Then we have the gear icon for the camera settings, and if you are a Reolink user, especially with their NVR IP cameras, you'll be able to relate on the settings. There are a lot of settings that you can change and tweak, and I'll just show you the important ones. In the display, you can change the recording quality of the camera. You can tweak the frame rate for this Wi-Fi camera to match the PoE version at 25 frames per second. And you see the 15 FPS is the default. You can also change the bitrate, and this really depends on your Wi-Fi signal strength. Detection alarm, and this is the recording of the camera, and you can set detection zones, adjust the sensitivity, and also change the sensitivity of its AI, person or vehicle detection. There is also an object size range which you can set to further minimize false recordings. And as to the camera recording, this is where you can set the camera to record when it detects any motion, person, or vehicle, which I usually tick all of them in my setup, and this is as close as you can get before 24/7 recording, which this camera can also do if you schedule it here on the timer tab. Now that was just the recording option. Notification is a different settings, and this is where I only choose person, so I'll only get notified when the camera detects people. It will still record all motion, but I'll just get a notification when a person is detected. On the advanced settings, you have the options for the spotlight. Change the brightness and change the mode, off, auto, or you can schedule it. Just a quick tip for you guys, when you download the footage on this Duo, you need to be in the one camera view. And change the quality and the playback to clear. And when you click on the download button, it will say clear to download the full resolution recording. And if it's fluent, you will get the lesser resolution. Now time to do some testing.
So this is the video and audio quality for the Reolink Duo camera. And this is the Wi-Fi version, and I have the PoE version right there. I've set this to the max highest quality, which will be at running at 25 frames per second. Anyways, this is the video clarity test at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Running man test. I got the notification again, so there's barely no cool off. So this is the video quality of the Reolink Duo at night, and this with the spotlight turned on, and the infrared actually was turned on before that, but it's in auto mode, and this is what it looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30. And as you can see, both camera lenses are on, all the spotlights are on. So I got a notification again, and I think you can still see me from here.
So we are going to do multiple tests in one shot, and we are going to start with the motion alert notification speed. And I'm on my LTE connection, and it is 508. Now the next one will be, I'm going to go around the shed, and we're going to test the maximum detection of the Reolink Duo, which is the Wi-Fi version that we are going to test. And after that, we'll see what the cool off is. I've set the camera to record when it senses all motion, vehicle and person. So whenever the camera sees me, it should start recording. But the notification is only when it senses a person. So let's check it out. Let's start off, and I'm gonna go right here on my fence line, and the camera should be detecting me just like that. Person is detected. All right. So I'm gonna go around the back behind my behind my shed, then right here. So that was one camera that detected me. Let me see if the other camera will detect me at 40 feet. I'm just gonna walk. There you go. See, one thing on the Reolink that they might need to update will be the notification. They don't have rich notifications. So when you click on this, it will go to live view, and there's no thumbnail or GIF preview. But it loads up pretty quick. And let's see what the cool off is. I'll go close to the camera. There you go. All right, so we are just gonna test and see what the maximum detection of the Reolink Duo at night, and this is in auto mode, so it's night vision turned on right now, and whenever it senses motion, the spotlight will automatically turn on, and it will be in color mode. I'm gonna go the same way as in daytime, so I'll go right here in the fence line area and see if it can detect me. It didn't this time. So let's do the 40 feet right here. All right, 40 feet. Person detection turned on. Max sensitivity. Nope. 35. The infrared LEDs are on. Not at 35. Let's go 30. Oh, there you go. Detected me at 30 feet. Cool. That should be good enough. Look at the spotlights, man. It looks like a bird's eyes, like an owl's eyes. That's actually scary looking. I got a notification again. So 30 feet detected at night. Okay, I have to explain on my night testing, it showed that I got detected at 30 feet. Remember guys, the option that I chose in the recording is for the camera to detect and record any movement, people, and vehicles. So I still got the footage of me going to my fence line, up to when I was behind the shed, and up to the point that I got detected as a human at 30 feet. Then that's the time that I got the push notification. Depending on how you set this camera up, even not recording 24/7, you can still set it to record any motion and set to the highest sensitivity, and you will not miss any motion events, but you will only be notified of motion that matters.
This is the audio quality coming out from the Reolink Duo camera, and this is a full duplex two-way talk.
So what do you think guys? This is actually a pretty good idea for a security camera from Reolink. And I like that they will have 4 versions of these. And I will already call it and say it right now that the PoE and the Wi-Fi version will most likely be way better than the battery version. But we will see. I like the versatility of this camera, and you only need to have one wiring to power up 2 cameras. And in my backyard, I can technically just have one camera in the middle part of the back of the house, and it will monitor my whole backyard. As usual, like all other Reolink cameras, video quality is excellent, and it is on par to their 4 megapixel NVR IP cameras. Not a lot of compression is done because the footage is being recorded locally in the microSD card or in the NVR if you choose to. The only thing that is needed for Reolink to do, and this applies to all their cameras, and not just this one, is the rich notifications. They need to add a buffered video preview or even a GIF or snapshot preview on their notifications. It just adds to the user experience, and everybody has been doing it, and it is high time for Reolink to add it to their app. Any questions? Comment down below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.